Hey everybody, Ope here, Ope Gaming. So I decided just to do a very quick video. Shouldn't take more than maybe 5 minutes of your time. It's gonna break down the clan boss in some pretty easy steps. Okay, so let's get into it. Understanding debuffs. Okay, these are essential debuffs that need to be on the clan boss. Nothing else is essential to the clan boss but these. And I have these kind of in a descending order of what what I've come in to understand that this is how this is going to be for importance, right? Decrease attack. If you have somebody that can play decrease attack, big or little, the clan boss is going to do less damage to you. You'll live longer. The longer you live, the more damage you do, right? Decrease defense, okay? If you decrease the boss's defense, you're going to do more damage. You'll get higher points, and then you'll get more chests. Easy as that, right? Big or little, whatever you have, because this is an early game guide. Placing poison. Poison is the best damage to do to the clan boss in consistency and to max your potential. Okay, little poison's okay, but there are champions out there that are of the rare caliber that will place big poisons. Frozen Banshee is one of them. Kale, who's a starter, who is always recommended to pick to make your time in the game a lot easier, is one of them as well. All right. Next we have Weaken. Weaken is another form of like a decreased defense. The small and big version, the clan boss will take more damage in a percentage, right? Not just you decrease defense by 60% or 30% or whatever it is, and then they take more damage. No, this is just an overall will take more damage, right? Which is nice. HP Burn, which is like Poison's little brother. It doesn't do as much damage to the clan boss as Poison does. So that's why Poison is prioritized over HP Burn. Okay, but still a great debuff to have. There's rares out there that place HP Burn. The one I used forever and who's great for clan boss is Bulwark, right? He's the void rare dwarf. And then last but not least is Leech. Leech can later in the game be a good substitute if you build your team right for Lifesteal Gear, right? Currently Lifesteal Gear is, for early game is king. You're not going to get any better than that for the clan boss. All right. And as the name implies, you heal back damage that you've dealt. All right. And then let's talk about roles that you need for the clan boss. You need somebody that's going to place decrease attack. You need somebody that's going to place decrease defense. You're going to need somebody that does poison. HP Burn's your next option if you don't have poison, which you should, and then weaken. Okay. Other ones that are good includes are people that place increased defense and that give shield buffs to your team and that cleanse the debuffs off your team from clan boss. All right, these are all great options. I mainly was just focusing on the attack setup here for your team. Essentially, you're going to want a damage dealer and a bunch of supports, right? So you'll have Kale, and then so let's just kind of take a peek here real quick at some rares that you could potentially use. Boop boop. Sorry, I always check this. I'm buying up some uncommons because I gotta level people up. Champion training event coming up. Okay. So let's just take a look at an index here. So like I said earlier, Kale should be your starter. There he is. Places poison, big version, small version, and he's got very solid AoE damage. He's great everywhere in the game. As you can see, high ratings from everybody. I think he might have the most ratings of any person in the game. 129,000 is a lot. And then some early game champions that you could use that you'd have. Spirit Host is one that you can get. She's great. She'll place increased attack on your team to deal more damage. She'll cleanse and put block debuffs on your team. Which is awesome for one turn. And you can set up the speeds for clan boss, and I'll pull those up here in just a minute. And so I recommend Spirit Host. I believe she's farmable. If not, you're going to get her eventually through rares and ancient and mystery shards. We'll go find Bulwark here, he got me through a lot. Places HP Burn, booked out to 100%. And then when he is attacked, he has a 30% chance of extending the duration of all debuffs on the attacker by one turn. That's great. So essentially, what you do is you put him in the lead too, because he has to increase all ally defense in all battles by 17%. Bulwark is the man. You know, if you're sleeping on this guy, your early game, look at him right here, Clan Boss. He's rated great. I'm trying to see if there's any other dwarves here that I would give recognition to for Clan Boss, and I'm thinking that's a no. Okay. Oh, All Might's here. Here's a rare that outshines everybody else in Clan Boss. Look at this, 18,000 reviews. She is the queen of Clan Boss and Dragon's Lair. Actually, I think Ice Golem, she's good too, but no, yeah, I gave her a 3. She's actually really good there. She will never use this ability, so you don't have to worry about that on Clan Boss. It's great. She only uses this to place poison sensitivity, which she needs to do to be able to place her poisons on her A1. She is the queen. She's great. She also has a counterpart in her sister here, Grave Chill Killer, who will place a decreased defense for you. So what does she say? Attacks an enemy, 100% chance when booked out, decreased defense, 100% chance of placing the big version of decreased defense if they have a poison debuff on them. Great, and they're going to. It's Clan Boss. And then she has a chance of placing poison as well. And then places big poisons on people under poison sensitivity buff. So if you get her, great. She pairs really well with her sister, Frozen Banshee. Those guys are awesome. There was actually just a recent video that Deadwood Jedi did for Corpulent. Champions under shield buffs. That's pretty crazy. So apparently this guy can put out some really big numbers when paired with the right champions. Don't sleep on him either. Okay. Looking for other options for Clan Boss. I'm not seeing Seducer if you get him. Places block debuffs. So yeah, and Ally Protect, which is another great buff to include. It's kind of broken how it works. Let's see, anybody here? I mean, in the beginning of the game, you're going to use whatever you have. So any of these can play a role, right? I'm going to turn that off. Apologies. Diabolus is going to increase the speed of your team, fills her turn meter, and that's about it. She can be used, and she's no, she's not speed lead. This guy's pretty good. He places increased defense and increased attack on your team, so if you ever do get Abyssal, he's great. I see a lot of people playing him in endgame for the secret room for spirits in Doom Tower. We'll go over orcs here quick. Places increased speed on himself. He'll place decreased defense, which if you go get a Gaelic or you went with Gaelic, he's good because he'll place decreased defense on, let's see, Veteran. I like Veteran. He places decreased attack on his A1 pretty consistently, so don't sleep on him for that. You could always lock out his other 2 abilities because you don't want him placing block buffs on the boss because it doesn't matter. Well, some points it matters, but overall it doesn't matter. Not seeing anybody else. So we went through these. Knights Rev. Boy, rare Knights Rev. Let's see what we got. Coffin Smasher. How could you forget? This guy, he hits. And he places decreased attack on his A1. And he places HP burn. And he takes 5% less damage from AoE hits. Awesome. He's amazing for Clan Boss. Not seeing anybody else. Lizard Man. Nope. Ogren Tribes. Gear Grinder's good. I like Gear Grinder. He's a very good healer. Places continuous heal when he hits with his A1. Can't really complain about that too much. But other than that, I'm not really... I like Fury Stoker. I used him to beat Faction Wars. I think he can be pretty decent in Clan Boss too for early game. Barbarians. Here we go. Here is one that you can farm. War Maiden. Get as many copies as you need of her to book out this here. This is an automatic big decreased defense. Booked out to 100% on a 3-turn cooldown. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And she places baby poisons. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So 13. So you'll need 14 copies of her. 13 if you're, 13 spare if you're unlucky. And they land on the A1 and then everything else. But she's awesome. Right? Let's see, is there anybody else I'd recommend from this faction? And I am thinking that is a big old no. Nope, nope. Sacred Order, rares. Aethel is not very good here. Yeah, she's just not. I mean, she's decent. She'll place weaken, but that's about it. Decreased defense is way better in the early game. War Priest, who you get, she'll be pretty decent as a support, especially early game in Clan Boss. I mean, she places increased attack on all allies, and then she'll heal them by 20% of their max HP, and then everybody else by 10%. She's good support for that. Let's see. I'm not seeing anybody else. Mother Superior. Can't forget her. An amazing support champ as a rare, especially. She will get you very far in the game until you start finding better healing support champions. High Elves. There's a couple in here. Apothecary is the king. He is beloved. He increases the speed of all allies. He has a heal that can crit. And he hits 3 times at random. So if you're running him against Fire Knight, he'll knock down that wall. But he is going to be great with a lead of increased defense in dungeons by 21%. Clan Boss, this is going to be big, and so is his heal. Elhane's another starter you could have picked up. Good for the arena. Not very good for Clan Boss. Reliquary Tender, she is very good. She has Revive an ally, but she also has this. She cleanses and puts continuous heal buff. Awesome. Anybody else I'd recommend? Definitely not. Alright, we're just going over rares. Dagger is very good. I've never used her, but her kit's great, and all the other content creators really give her the big old thumbs up. They love her, right? She brings in, sorry, we'll go back to that. She brings in decreased attack, decreased defense, and she can attack 2 times. So her kit, you've already got 2 of the debuffs you want to place on Clan Boss on her. I'm looking at anybody else. Valerie's not bad. Increased attack and shields on your team. Good. And then I am really not seeing anybody else. Okay. That's it for now. Just wanted to go over that real quick. Comments or questions, concerns, anything like that, put them in down below. See you later. Just kidding, I'm back because I'm stupid. Anyways, let's talk about some Clan Boss stuff too. There's one piece of gear, especially in the early game, that is better than everything else. It's Lifesteal. Lifesteal gear, which you get from Dragon, is what you're going to want in Clan Boss, okay? This gear, as you can read, it's a 4-set bonus to heal back 30% of the damage you deal. Once you've got your guys' masteries out and you get them down to War Master or Giant Slayer, they will heal their entire health pool back when they proc this with Lifesteal gear on, or with, there's another gear set, find it here, and it's Bloodthirst, which is a very upgraded version of Lifesteal because it brings crit rate with it. So, oh, that's a good piece. Got lucky there. And I also said I would bring up some stuff too for everybody to look at for like important things that you need to see. So let me pull them up on my other screen. Sorry, it's taking forever. This is probably the most important thing. Get over there. Alright. These are the important stats for Clan Boss. The Clan Boss has these speeds at these levels. The accuracy you need to place these debuffs are here for these levels. And the defense that is required to stay alive at the bare minimum for the longest before you start getting diminishing returns is here. Okay? So on easy, the Clan Boss has 130 speed. So everybody on your team should have 131 speed. Shouldn't be hard to do. They need bare minimum 70 accuracy to land their debuffs on him. And they need bare minimum 1800 defense to survive for the majority. And then as you see, it just goes right up from there. Once you get up to Ultra Nightmare, you know, the Clan Boss goes at 190. Accuracy you need is 230 plus. And the defense you need is 3500 plus. Alright, and we'll get into one more thing here too. This is actually important. So if you have somebody on your team like Seeker or, you know, some like Vogoth who heals the team, depending on the damage he takes. Positioning is important. The person that you put in the lead should have an aura skill that benefits you. Increase defense, increase HP, increase damage. You know, you really want more of a defensive stat because the longer you live, the more damage you're going to do. The second person in the team should be somebody that has a passive that will proc that. And a passive ability, right? So Seeker, if he's hit with a critical, he's going to place increased defense on everybody. He should go in your second slot. Vogoth, when he is hit, will heal the team by a percentage. Should go in the second slot because the way it's made, the person here will benefit the other 4. I don't know the science behind it. I just know that's the way. All right. Generally, it's kind of just like when you do your formations for anything, right? So you're going to have your defensive vanguard up front, and then you got your damage dealers in the back, right? You keep your casters in the back, and you put your defensive guys up front. Plain and simple. Offensive linemen, offensive, running backs, and everything. Along the same lines. But I just wanted to cover that real quick. I knew I forgot that, being a ding-dong. You guys have a good night. Catch you later.
Yeah, got any other questions? I'll be right here.